Hello, Don Charles.
Hello, Errol Jarrett.
Yeah. Finally. Hey, Beats, mute yourself. Mute yourself until you come on. Yeah, Stuart, mute yourself. Yeah. All right then. Okay. All right, Don Charles. I'm gonna start now. So I'm gonna do introductions, and then we're gonna start. Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. Cool.
How long will this take?
I think probably. What's your time limit? You only got hour or less than an hour.
What? You can't keep me on the phone for an hour?
No, less. I said less than an hour.
Yeah,
About 20,
it
probably
has to
about
be
20 minutes. Let's say
20
25 minutes.
minutes, please.
20. How many?
Maximum 20, 25 minutes.
There you go. That's it. That's fine with us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
please, because I need to go and do something.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna start recording now. Okay. Do
Okay.
introductions. Hello, boxing fans. Yeah. I'm here with Stuart Little from the Boxing Union, Boxing Beats the Rams from the Boxing Union, and myself, Errol Jarrett, and here with Don Charles, trainer of Dereck Chisora and many other fighters. Hello, Mr. Charles. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm a great fan. Great this morning. Mr. Charles, you're a very busy man. Let's talk a bit about your active. How's Dereck going, and how's he getting ready for his big fight?
Derek's good. You know, he's a very laid back character. You know, he works when he needs to work. He's a very good worker in the gym. He's one of the hardest working fighters that are currently trained, and he always has had that sort of attitude. His work ethic is second to none. So yeah, he's very good. He's very good at the moment.
Beach, you mute yourself. Someone muted. Someone needs to mute themselves, you know. And what about obviously the Kingpin, that fight? How's sparring and everything getting ready for the Kingpin?
Yeah, as you know, there was a change of opponents. Initially, we were preparing to fight Rudenko, who pulled out through injury. And then we were then told that we're going to fight the Kingpin, as he's known, you know, Mr. Johnson.
Kevin Johnson.
So yeah, Kevin Johnson. So we had to obviously employ or draft in a couple of different sparring partners, basically for the style. It's all about styles, you know, who will give us the style we need to be able to deal with Mr. Johnson.
Definitely. Okay, go ahead, Beats.
Hello, Mr. Charles. Yeah, this Boxing Beats and Rams. I'm kind of shocked at the choice of opponent because Kevin Johnson is not a kind of man you're going to look good against. You can get the job done, but you're not going to look good against. Why Kevin Johnson?
And the question is also, why not Kevin Johnson? I hear you. I share your concern, and I share your. It's very intriguing in the sense that it wouldn't have been our first choice of opponent, no. But unfortunately, you know, in the boxing world, in the boxing business, the promoters and the matchmakers have a massive, mammoth task in putting fights together at certain points in someone's career. Let's take Dereck Chisora, for instance. He's the current European champion. And I can categorically say to you that there is no takers, there is no heavyweights in Europe who are worth anything, okay, in terms of who are credible to be able to, or eligible to challenge for the European title, yeah?
Yes.
You can't just put a fight on for the sake of it. It has to make business sense, okay? So therefore, anyone in Europe who's eligible or potentially eligible for that European title have declined an offer to fight Dereck Chisora, okay? So that immediately puts the promoter in a difficult position. He has to put a show on, yeah?
Yes.
And keep his fighter busy. So now, then we start looking into the world, right? Again, it's a question of them make probably about 50 phone calls in order to get a person who will volunteer and say, right, I'll take the fight, okay? So, you know, it wasn't our first choice. No, it wasn't. But Mr. Johnson, I have to give him credit because when he was called, when he was approached by Mr. Warren and the matchmaker, he obviously chose to say, yeah, I'd like to fight Dereck Chisora. So, you know, obviously in anything we do in life, there's a massive risk. There's a massive risk in taking this fight at this point in time in Dereck's career, yeah, because Johnson, as we know, is a very difficult opponent. He's a credible opponent. You know, he's fought at world level. He's fought Vladimir Klitschko, took him the distance. and most recently fought the Tyson Fury, and again took him the distance. So he's a very difficult guy to penetrate his defense. But when we're presented with this fight, the question myself and my fighter, Dereck Chisora, we sit down, we analyze it. Me as a trainer, I have to look at it first and say, can Dereck beat this guy? If the answer is yes, I will sit the fighter down and say, right, can you see yourself beating this guy? And I need to hear it from the person who's physically in the ring, which in this case was Dereck Chisora. Yeah?
Yes.
He believes, he and I believe we have to beat Mr. Johnson. So, and how do you do it? Which is what then the training side of it is, then you bring a system, a method in order to be victorious. So we don't just look at this and draw this conclusion just like that. There's a lot of thinking that goes into it. Before an opponent is agreed. We agreed to fight an opponent. So I totally share your concern and the question. When you look at it first value, you think, why take this type of risk with this type of opponent? Yeah, there's more to it than people know, basically.
Yes, indeed. I'll give you credit for taking the fight. I'll give you much credit.
Yeah, definitely. Stuart, are you there? Oh.
I'm here. Okay.
Go ahead, Stuart. Go ahead, Stuart. Ask away, Stuart. Go ahead.
My question is, excuse my sore throat. I've got a sore throat. My question is, by the way, hello, Mr. Charles. How are you getting on first? Sorry for being rude.
No, it's fine. I'm very well, thank you.
Good. I'm actually a fan of what you've done with Dereck, because obviously he's an eccentric character. What is it that you do?
I agree.
Yeah. What is it that you do that can obviously control this guy? Because this guy seems uncontrollable at times. I think any other trainer, I think he'd have actually lost the plot. So what is it that Don Charles does differently to any other trainer that can get into Dereck Chisora's head and obviously get him in the mood for looking in the shape he's in? And he's obviously fighting well at the moment. He's in terrific shape, so he's got the love for boxing. What is it that Don Charles does to obviously motivate Dereck Chisora? Because he's a very strange character, and he can fly off the handle now and again. So
yeah, I've always it's publicly known. I've always spoken about Dereck he's a very complex character, but I've always also maintained that if you lined 100 heavyweights on a line and asked me to choose a fighter out of the 100 heavyweights, I would choose Dereck Chisora all day long. Yeah, because the kid, he's got at the heart of 7 lions inside his chest. Okay, and he's a fighter who he turns up and he represents me. He's never ever let me down. Even in defeat, he's never let me down. Okay, so we have that tight bond, and also I've been with this young man from the beginning of his professional career. In fact, from he's had 8 amateur fights when I first met Dereck Chisora, and I've been monitoring and kind of helping him from even when he was an amateur. So I've grown with him. He's my first fighter. I've never trained anybody prior to training Dereck. So it's kind of a story which I'm very passionate about, in the sense that me and this kid, he started me off and I started him off. Yeah, so that bond, is very tight, And in terms of, you asked me a question, what is it? How am I able to deal with this complex character? There's a lot of reasons, not just one thing, We're both from the same background. I'm an African man. I was born in Africa, Nigeria, and I came here when I was 14 to England. And Dereck, coincidentally, he's from a different part. He's from Africa, but from Zimbabwe. He too only came to this country when he was 15, I believe. And again, we've gone through the similar type of route from our background, so we can relate in a lot of ways. He's a black man, I'm a black man, I understand the black man's mentality. Okay, so there's a lot of factors what gives me or helps me to be able to train this, successfully train this. It's not a kid anymore. I always use the word kid. I don't mean to belittle him. To train this young man. I can go on, but I've said most of the key things that I believe that aids me to be able to do the job necessary in training Dereck Chisora.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I know. Obviously, we know your push of time. first off, I'm gonna ask you, Chris. I've got two questions to ask you, and then I'm gonna. The first question, second question, first question I ask you is other fighters you are training, because you don't want to keep on about Dereck because your time's limited. And then I want to ask you about the opening of your new gym in Millhill. So, can you give us a little on some of the other fighters you're training as well?
Yeah, I have a number of fighters that have gone through me in a short space of time that I've been a professional trainer, and I've currently got a good, healthy stable of fighters. I've got in weight order. I have also he's the dark horse of all the heavyweights in the world. My secret weapon, which is Ian Lewison, the heavyweight. Ian's been around for a long, long time on the scene. In fact, he was a professional boxer before Dereck Chisora. But Ian, to date, I've only had about 11 professional fights. You know, myself and Ian got together 18 months ago. Just up.
You need to mute yourself. Sorry, Don Charles. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got together with Ian Lewison to become his trainer just under 18 months ago, and he's had 4 fights under my tutelage, and he's doing very well. And I really think he's one for the future also. I believe he's going to go on and do great things. And then up to recently, I was training Wladimir Klitschko, whom I helped to win the prize fighter. I have a number of other lighter weights. I've got the Evangelou brothers. One is a light welterweight, and the older brother is a light heavyweight. They've only just started with me. I've got also one guy from Israel. He's a light middleweight. His name is Deontay. Okay, he's 5-0 now. He's going to be doing very well. And also, I'm not sure if you're aware of a rare talent called Yazin El Macha, the showman. Yeah, he's also with me. He's been with me for 4 years, and he got injured about 2 years ago, and he hasn't. In fact, his last contest was he won the prize fighter in the light welterweight division when he beat Junior Witt and Colin Lyons on the same night. So he's an exceptional talent. He's still with me. There's been a number of fighters also that's gone through me since my short career so far as a professional boxing coach. Ashley Theo Payne, Ajogo Michigan, Tony Salam. Okay. Yeah, there's been a number of fighters that have gone through my stable. I'm really, really happy at what I do. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. I just want to train winners. I know everybody wants to train winners, but they're not prepared to put to work and the commitment and the sacrifices one has to make. These champions are not made overnight. It entails a lot. It entails a lot to build a champion. It really does.
Okay, so Beats. I got two questions. I have two question part, and then after you and Stuart can jump in, and then so let's talk about the opening of your gym. Because to me, it's not too far from where I live, and I think the fight fans listening to this podcast, they're gonna really, if they're in the local area, I'd like them to come to the gym, support the gym, and obviously come to one of the best trainers in England, which is Don Charles. So can you tell us about the opening of your gym, and about a bit about where it is? Right.
Can I quickly retract what you just said? And I want you to rephrase a line. I'm not just one of the best trainers in the country. I'm one of the best trainers in the world.
Yes. Okay. All right. Hey, listen. You know what?
Listen,
that's
and I mean that. No, and I mean that. Okay.
Listen, it's hard to disagree with you. You're very successful.
I am one of the. Listen. I'm a humble man. I haven't got to where I want to be or where I'm going. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm still learning every day, and what am I in it for? I want to be known as the best in the world. Yeah. When my fighters join my stable, I'm going to sit down to have the first meeting of why they want me to train them. The first question I always ask them is, why me? Why did you choose me? Why did you come to me? They say, oh, because you're good at what you do. I said, and? They always say, I want to be a world champion. I said, guess what? I too want to be a world champion coach. Okay? And that's how I want to be judged. I want to be known as one of the greats. Okay? I aim very, very high. I'm an ambitious guy, but I'm willing to do the work. I'm an honest worker. I'm willing to do the work that entails is required to make me the best trainer in the world. Why not?
Yes. Well, you know what? That goal is, it's actually there. I mean, Dereck and some of the guys you training, as they get onto the world scene, then your name get out there as we become the champions.
We are just halfway through our journey, all of us, including Dereck. We have not got where we want to be. It's not even going there. Once we go there, we want to retain and maintain it for long periods. That's how you're considered to be great or to be the best. It's not just about most people make it to where they want to go, but can you stay there? That's where it starts.
Yeah.
It's like buying a house. It's not just about buying the house or the car. Can you keep it?
Definitely.
That's the trick.
Yeah, then I'm gonna have to move you on because I understand your thing, and I want the other guys to get
Not
something.
a problem.
So
Not a problem.
I appreciate what you just said there. You're absolutely right. So let's go into the opening of your gym and where's it going to be situated?
Right, we're currently in Finchley Central, which is in North London N3, and we're just moving approximately 2 miles to northwest of which is Millhill Broadway. It's going to be on the net. We're going to launch it on the 1st of March, and shortly after this fight, we're going to relocate to our new premises. It's a brand new premises. It's an industrial unit, and it's basically what it's all. The gym we had we're leaving in Finchley Central. That's my first attempt at doing a gym, and it served us really well. And the lease had run out. The landlords are redeveloping the site into residential apartments, and that's why we have to move. But the new location, where again, by the grace of God, we will be as successful as the business side of it as it has been where we're leaving in Finchley Central. So I'm looking forward to it, and it will be well publicized where the new location and everybody is welcome.
Yeah, because I was wondering what Millhill Broadway, because I know the train station, I know wherever
it's about 6 minutes, approximately 6 minutes walk from the station where it's Buns Lane, Bunns, Buns Lane.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to be. NW7.
I'm coming there. Are we there?
You're welcome.
Me and Beats.
Bring your gloves.
Me and Beats.
Bring your
Your
gloves. Bring your gloves. Bring your headgear.
Yeah. Another thing as well. Do you do trainers? Because I was asking. I know this question probably going off the thing. Do you train other guys to be? How do you do boxing coaching courses for other boxers to become trainers in the past?
I do actually. I've got a module that I've written to be able to. It's also going to be online. It's called Box Clever. My teaching method is called Box Clever, and it's going to be. I'm launching that soon. I'm going to be holding workshops with regards to coaching other people who want to become coaches, i.e., pad work and basic boxing foundation courses. So look out for that.
Yeah. I'm going to be taking that course. I'll be coming to take that course, by the way. I'm just letting everyone know I'm coming to take that course. But you know what?
No problem.
Don, thanks for that. Hey, I'm going to start with Beats and then Stuart, and then we're going to wrap it up. Go ahead, Beats.
Yeah, people keep saying, and I've got a theory. People keep saying that Dereck can't take a punch so well no more. But I have a theory. Dereck, rather than getting hit with the second shot, if he gets hit with a hard one, he's just moving out the way now. As opposed to before, he'd stay there and maybe take the second shot. Is that accurate?
Your observation is absolutely spot on. It's called experience. He's not as stubborn as he used to be. He's using his brain a little bit more now. Prior to the David Hay fight, Dereck didn't know any. His pain tolerance level is high. Okay, all right. Now, I've never, in all my time of training Dereck, I've never seen him shook up in sparring. I've never seen him go down. The first time I saw my guy on the floor, and it was a shock to me as a coach. It was the first time I seen him on the floor was against David Hay, okay? And it was a total shock to myself as a coach. I've never seen him in that situation before, right? And then himself as well, having never ever gone down, okay? This is a guy who's been in with Wladimir Klitschko, who's considered one of the hardest hitting heavyweights on the planet, okay? Went 12 rounds with him, and Klitschko couldn't put a punch on it. He did hit Dereck, but it still kept coming, all right? So the reason people will be saying, because I've been pulled up on a number of occasions about the same thing, Dereck's punch resistance is gone. Now, let me tell people who don't actually know what's happening to a boxer, okay, is I believe what's happened to Dereck now, prior to him fighting David Hay, the brain worked in a different way. Now, when he receives a shot, the brain recognizes, oops, I've been here before, I felt this pain, don't like it, and then he reacts in a different way. Whereas before, because he's never been knocked down or out or dazed, the brain, Dereck Chisora's original sense would say, fight back straight away. Okay? So now the brain is recognizing the pain and is reacting differently. It's not because his punch resistance is gone. Okay, he hasn't been in that many wars. For a fighter's punch resistance to go, it means you would have got knocked out several times, or you've been in so many wars. No, Dereck has not been in so many wars for that to happen. Yeah. And we don't intend for him to be in many wars in the future. He's getting better technically. People keep forgetting this kid did not box till he didn't glove up till he was in his late 18, 19 years old. He didn't start boxing till he was 19 years old as an amateur. And he had 21 amateur fights prior to turning professional. Yeah, to date he's only had 23 professional fights. So collectively, he's still amateur and pro. You know, you're looking at 44, 45 fights. That's not a lot. That's still a novice, really, in boxing terms. That's considered still a novice. Okay, so people's observations, yes, we do share your concern about him appearing as if his punch resistance has gone. I don't believe, and Dereck Chisora doesn't believe it's gone.
Yep, that was my theory as well. I just thought from he was getting a bit smarter. Rather than get hit by the second shot, get out of the range. It made sense. Last question I wanted to ask. Is the new gym going to be very high-tech, or is it going to have an old-fashioned sort of feel?
Right. Basically, I'm an old-fashioned man, and my concept is less is more, simplicity. No, we're not going to go into the market of a high-tech gym. It was never intended for that, because the way, if you notice the trend, the way gyms are going now, even the big corporate gyms are trying to take a leaf out of everybody's independent gyms, where minimalists, people are fed up of all the machines. We're not robots, okay? There's all this strongman stuff now where people are using alternative methods to train. Yeah, so it's basically going back to the organic roots of training oneself. It's not all about big dumbbells and cross trainers and treadmills. No, people want to strip it down to the core, so everything to go back organic again. Even in the way we eat these days, the whole nation, the whole world, everyone starts to recognize that we've gone too far advanced. You know, technology is brilliant. I'm not for once condemning technology, but I think everything's going organic now, and the same with the gym. The way our gym has been and will always be is to keep it raw, minimalist, less is more.
Great. Okay, excellent. Stuart Little, last question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say a great breakdown from Don there on Beats' question. But my question is, if you could go in a time machine and go back, would you do things different with Dereck? Because obviously he's fought the best heavyweights out there. He's not had many fights. He's done experience, and you know he's held his own. I mean, obviously that punch that he got hit with David Hay by would have knocked a horse out. So, you know, there's no. Do you think it would have been better to obviously take your time with Dereck and build up his name? And because we could be talking of a fighter now, 22-0, with a real big backing and a big name behind him, and obviously for big fights. Obviously, Dereck's still going to get big fights, but do you wish you'd obviously took your foot off the pedal with his career? Because after I think 12, 13 fights, they were sticking him in there with the Klitschkos and things, and Dyson Furies and everything else. What's your opinions on that?
Good question.
Yeah, my opinions is always the same, in the sense that I might find arrogance, not as confidence, or gung-ho. Everything we do is calculated. There's a risk factor in everything. You weigh up your options, and you weigh up opportunities. Opportunities don't sometimes come. We as human beings, sometimes we take things for granted, yeah? Okay, there's a lot of people, a lot of wise heads around Dereck Chisora. His mother, okay, nobody speaks about his mother. He comes from a single parent. His mother raised him in this country, okay, from him coming from Africa to England, yeah? Okay, Dereck he got involved with the wrong crowd earlier on in his career.
Please. Stuart, mute yourself, yeah? Go ahead, Don. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I was saying, Dereck Chisora, when he first came to this country, got involved with the wrong crowd. And boxing, yeah, you've heard it all before. Everyone says, oh, if it wasn't of boxing or football or whatever, I would have been dead or been in prison and stuff. And I'm afraid to say that's the same in Dereck Chisora's case. boxing rescued him from what he would have been otherwise. Now, coming back to the question the gentleman asked me, okay, whether we rushed him. You could look at it like that, but I really don't believe I, myself, Dereck or Frank, one will change anything. No regrets, because in this life here, I'm a great believer in destiny, okay? Our paths have already been written. We are the drivers of the vehicle that God gave us, yeah? Like when you buy a car, the manufacturer makes that car. The car goes into the showroom, you like that car, you buy it. You're the one responsible for steering it, okay? Okay, you steer it, the car, whether you want to put it on a straight road or you want to put it on a narrow road or motorway, you are the driver. But your destiny has already been mapped out for you, okay? Now, all the things that happen in our life, I call it down to destiny, okay? Destiny. We make these, we take the fights that we've taken in the past because it's Dereck Chisora's destiny. You might think, well, what is this guy talking about? Because it's my beliefs. That's why I'm talking about it in that way, okay? We wouldn't change anything because Dereck Chisora will not be the Dereck Chisora we're speaking about today had he not gone through the path that he's gone down. Whether we've gotten it wrong sometimes, okay? Yes, we've gotten it wrong sometimes. We might have taken fights prematurely, what appeared prematurely, but that is his path, that's his destiny that he's chosen to drive his vehicle down to.
Definitely.
And just one more question, Don, please.
Go ahead.
Deontay Wilder. Now, I go on a show in America, a radio show, and I have a lot of arguments with these because I believe Deontay Wilder didn't want any part of Dereck Chisora. Now, as Dereck Chisora's trainer, you're going to know a lot more than us on a radio show. So, give us the ins and outs of that one and why it didn't happen. Obviously, I know the visa problem, but that could have still happened. I don't believe that little visa problem Deontay had was a big enough reason. What's your views on that?
Yeah, my opinion is that obviously, I'll say it how it is. A lot of people don't like it, but guess what? That's me. Now, Deontay Wilder, I've been monitoring this guy. Dereck asked me about 3 years ago. He said to me, Coach, can you find out about some American that's knocking everyone out? I didn't even know the guy's name. Yeah, there's an American knocking everybody out. Even myself, I didn't know who it was. Then eventually I did my research and the name Deontay Wilder came up because make the fight. This is like three and a half years ago. He said, make the fight, I'd like to fight that dude. I said, don't worry, just keep doing what you're doing. We'll fight him in the future. Right. Fast forward to recent time. Dereck wanted to fight Deontay Wilder when he made his comeback. When Dereck made his comeback, and now they agreed for 7 days. They agreed Deontay Wilder's camp, and 7 days later, Frank Warren got a call saying due to he's got some domestic problems or something, so he couldn't leave the country. Okay, right. So that fight didn't materialize. Okay, so obviously they've looked at it. And I have to give them credit because obviously they've looked at it and hang on a second, no, this kid is totally wrong. Totally wrong for.
That's what I was just about to say, Don.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Chisora's all wrong for him.
They've looked at it and they thought, take a rain check here. Okay. Now, I'll give them credit because you know what? Right? Let me give you a little bit of information here. Right, there's a man, one of the greatest boxing coaches that's ever lived, in my opinion, Emmanuel Stewart. Right, I learned from these people, coaches like him. There's more to being. It's not just about going in the gym and holding up a pair of focus mitts and letting someone calling out instructions or taking someone on a run. There's more to being a great. I use the word great coach than just physically training somebody. Right, being a great coach. Part of the things I've learned from people like Emmanuel Stewart, which I want to one day become like him, is that he made a decision. It was against us at the time when he made it, but I learned from it. And since then, God rest his soul where he is in heaven, 7 weeks prior to his death, he confessed to me on the telephone that he definitely pulled his fighter out from facing Dereck. And that fighter is in the name of Wladimir Klitschko. Right. If you recall, Dereck was supposed to fight Wladimir Klitschko 4 years ago, okay? And we went to Germany. We trained in Scotland, and we flew to Germany, Mannheim in Germany. And 2 days prior to the fight was cancelled due to Wladimir sustaining what they claimed at the time a 2-inch abdominal tear. And we were
there was no medical evidence that that was
nothing.
The truth. Was
nothing. So we were stunned. We couldn't do nothing about it because Dereck wasn't mandatory for his title. So we were just hushed back to England and nothing happened. And David Hay, Mr. Hay, hijacked our fight. Suddenly threw his toys out of his pram. I want to fight Vladimir. I'm the best, greatest heavyweight in the world. So that's why he got the fight with Vladimir instead of us. Because the fight was postponed. Then in the postponement, Vladimir opted to not fight Dereck at all. Because you know what? Emmanuel Stewart recognized when he saw us live in Germany doing a public workout, he took 2 looks and thought, take a rank check, no way. These guys are too hungry, the start is all wrong for Vladimir. Dereck Chisora would have become, I'm not God, but my prediction is that had he fought Vladimir at the time we went to Germany, he would have become the heavyweight champion at a very early age, right? And you know what I said about 10 minutes ago regarding destiny? God did not want the kid to become a world champion in that period. You know why? Because who knows? Who's to say he wouldn't have lost his mind, his head, and not be with us on this planet today? So God took it away from him. No, right?
Tyson all over again, Don.
There you go. So he wasn't allowed, wasn't supposed to have contact. God showed us what's possible and removed it away from us. So you're not ready for it yet. Don't get me wrong, we were devastated. Dereck Chisora was so devastated, he went into a deep depression, and he went after that to fight Tyson Fury when he should never have been in a boxing ring that day. Not a lot of people know this, but I've not really told this story fully. Right? My boy should never have got in the ring to fight Tyson Fury when he got in the ring because he shouldn't have been in a boxing gym, never mind a boxing ring. But he was so stubborn, I said to him, you're not fighting. He goes, no, I ain't letting that punk beat me. Because he was unbeaten. When you're unbeaten, you think you can walk on water. Yeah? So he went in overweight, depressed, yeah, and then lost his title. That's the first loss he ever had in his professional career. He lost his both titles to Tyson Fury, right? Now, fast forward to what you just asked me regarding Deontay Wilder. No, Dereck Chisora is all wrong for Deontay Wilder. And no matter when the fight happens, Dereck will stop Deontay Wilder, no matter how and when the fight happens.
I agree.
All right, Don. Hey, Don, man. You know what? This has been one of the greatest interviews we've heard, and we really appreciate your time. You're a very, very busy man. Let the fans know, boy, it wasn't easy to get Don Charles here. We're happy we got him. Hopefully, we can have many interviews from this point onwards. And Don, we're just going to thank you very much for coming on our show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a pleasure. It's not. I mean, I'm a busy guy, but it doesn't mean you can't get hold of me. You can do. You just even the president of America, you still can get hold of him. So, you know, who am I? I'm only a little man. So, do call me. Try to leave me messages, and I'll only be pleased to voice my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. So, hey, so again, come down to March the 1st. Millhill Broadway. The date of it's going to be up on the website, and don't we probably me and Beats. We're going to be at we're going to be at the fight. We're going to Copper Box on February the 15th. Yeah. So hopefully we might see you around, and we'll continue that. But as for now, Don, we've probably overrun time because I know you're very big. Like you said, you've got things to do, and we appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon, Don. Yeah. Thanks for that.
It's a pleasure. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Cheers, Don. Cheers, Don.
Bye.
Bye.